Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Nice to see everybody. I know you're not all here yet, but we are happy to be here with all of you this evening.
Yes.
And I'm here, of course, with my lovely sisters. Miss Shari is here and is feeling a little bit better. And
A little better. I still sound like crap, and I still got to blow my nose every 5 minutes or have a coughing fit, but I'll survive.
then we have Miss Marina down here. Thank you for
Hello,
being here.
guys.
Heart-centered tarot. Make sure Sherry's voices from the swamp. Marina's heart-centered tarot, and then we have Val.
Oh, I forgot to put my thing on.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Dragonfly crystals and next level channeling. So like and subscribe to their channels. We would love it very much. And so thank you very much for everybody to be here. Tonight we got a couple of things to do. We're going to talk about a fun thing first. Well, as a discussion, and then we have just a little bit different. And then we'll have 2 readings that we'll be doing today. Before we get going, if it's okay with you guys, first of all, I want to say Denise Fletcher would like to have us wish a very happy birthday to her beautiful daughter, Kathy Maria Martin, who is a heavenly. She's passed.
Oh,
Happy birthday.
She would have been 53 today. So we want to wish her a happy heavenly birthday.
Yes.
And Denise talks to her all the time. So she's passing along the wishes. So there you go.
Good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. And Marina, I'm going to let Marina, she's got a little bit of a message that for all of us for the evening. And so if you would just take into consideration some of the things she's saying tonight, we would appreciate it. So Marina, have at it.
Absolutely. This is your public service announcement. Okay. Aside from the get out there and vote, make sure you vote.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone that this is a very public forum. You don't always know who's coming in and who's in the chat. A lot of people we know, but a lot of people are also anonymous as they come in. Some don't even say hello, they just lurk. So
which is fine.
Which is fine. Yeah, look away. As you're asking questions, whether it's posting to our community tabs or whether it's in other on other channels or anything else, just remember that this is a very, very public forum. So you might want to be careful about some of the things that you ask, because there could be family things, dynamics that come up that really, do you want them discussed in front of the whole world? Like, do you want everyone to know your dirty laundry is what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah, there are some things that are just more suitable to a private conversation. That's why we offer you guys, you have the ability to book a private reading with each and every one of us. Right? We give you the details. We tell you how to go about doing it. Is there a cost involved? Yes, generally there is, because we are giving you a block of time that is strictly between you and the reader. That's the time to bring up, family things and personal things. I suspect my husband is cheating on me. Am I right? Do you want all your friends to know that? So that's a kind of thing that you might.
His girlfriend could be watching, and then she says, "Oh, I mean,
that's true.
Take a look."
Yeah. Just be discerning is the word, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Because we will be honest with you in the things that we see. So, as I say, bear that in mind.
Thanks, Marina.
And this is the end of your public service announcement.
Thank you.
Yes.
So anyway, so thank you very much. I usually Val was supposed to run the show today, But I have to go next Wednesday night to a very special concert my daughter gave me tickets to. And so I couldn't do next week. Everybody that knows me knows how much I love Queen.
Yeah.
And so this is a candlelit orchestra that plays Queen songs. And so I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
I got
So she bought me
goosebumps just
tickets.
hearing about it.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of nice. So yeah, so I won't be here next week, but Val will be doing it. And Val, thank you for trading with me. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
We've all been playing musical hosts for this past
We have.
month.
It's a good thing it's a good thing we're very flexible in this group.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to say hello to everybody. There's a lot of people here. There's 60 people here. So I'm going to I'm not going to shout out to everybody right now. We usually do that in the very beginning, but we appreciate you being here. We are simulcasting on several channels, and we're glad everybody's here. We can see everything in the chat. I know you can't, but we do. So we will continue to. Oh, that's so cute. Marina's the boss, isn't she? She's awesome. I love her. I love her.
You know, I think I've got one of those T-shirts, or I need to get one of those T-shirts that says, "I'm not rude. I just say what everyone's thinking."
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
God, it's
you run a
wonderful.
tape ship.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you
do
so
that
much.
usually because
Oh.
I'm not thinking about what's coming out of my mouth, and it just kind of comes out, and then everybody looks at me, and I'm thinking, "Oops, I should have kept that to myself."
Oh, that happened to me on a Zoom call with my students the other night. Oh my God, this girl, she started preaching, and I said, "I'm very sorry. You have the right to your beliefs, but not everybody else
Yes, not
believe
him.
the way you do." But I felt like, oh my God, and this never happened. She was telling me we were talking about controversial topics and LGBTQ, and she said that Jesus died for our sins, and we need to remember that. And this, they should never, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh no, yeah. So talk
I
about
would just
no
said
Jesus talk.
Sorry,
this
man.
isn't a platform for your
Right.
yeah, this isn't a platform for
Right.
you.
But
This is a
and
class.
she's a little older than some of my students, and she said, I think it's not a good idea to have them be involved with these topics at their age.
Oh my God! Shut the front door. That's the whole
Then
thing.
get out of the
about
class.
I know.
Higher education. Hello.
Yeah. So I have to. Yeah, I know, artist Liz. You're absolutely.
You would
it
think
probably
that
was.
people would have
Yeah.
learned their lessons from the Victorian era when especially young women were kept in the dark about every damn thing.
everything.
And therefore they didn't have the means to take care of themselves, take care of their families. They would get forced into bad choices because they didn't know that a kiss
They
was
had
not going to
choices.
make you pregnant,
Right,
I mean,
right.
ridiculous things like that because nobody told them anything. And so it's like, if you
but
don't
you've got,
know, how
you have
can you
to be
make
so
good
careful.
choices?
You have to be so
Yeah.
careful these days, especially in education. And so I'm just jumping at the bit to retire.
Oh man,
I don't have to do that
that
anymore.
would make me want to retire so bad.
I don't teach, but
it's
I
like
get
walking
students
a
that come in.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't teach, but I have students that come in all the time just to come chit chat, come talk,
Mhm.
come vent. If they're pissed off about something, there's several of them know I go to Miss Shari and just let it all out, and she'll let me. And they do, believe me. I mean, there's some of them that will really rip it, and I just let them go. Just get it out of your system so you don't get in trouble with somebody else.
Yes.
And every now and again something will slip out of my mouth in response, and they'll kind of stop and look at me, and I'll be like, oops, guess I should have kept that to myself. And then they laugh and they think, no, I guess I was getting a little carried away. And I'm like, that's okay.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I get it. Well,
I'm just
let's
glad
go.
they
Let's
feel
move into
comfortable
our
enough to
first.
do that.
Let's move into our first topic. And our first topic was, I just wanted something fun, and I would love to get your input from the chat. I said, what is the most favorite Halloween costume you've either ever worn or seen? Like maybe you were at a party and somebody had a fabulous one. So, Miss Shari, how about you?
Well, it wasn't one I wore because it
Okay.
was probably the first year that I felt I was too old to trick or treat anymore. But my mother had to go to work that night, so I was in charge of taking my brother trick or treating, who was like 5 or 6, I think, at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And times were tight. We did not have a costume. We didn't have anything. And he wasn't going to let us just throw a sheet over his head and be a ghost. That just wasn't going to cut it. So my mother starts thinking about it. And she says, "Oh, I've got the perfect thing." She went in the closet. She came out with my old ballet tutu and tap shoes and the ruffled skirt thing that goes around. And she had this long blonde fall wig.
Uh-huh.
Kind of looks like what Val's hair looks like right now, but think platinum blonde.
Uh-huh.
And so we dressed my brother as a ballerina with the wig, the makeup, the whole shebang. And I took him out trick-or-treating, and not one person knew it was a boy. They were all complimenting me on what a pretty little sister I had. It was the best costume ever. Now, I don't know, he may still be embarrassed about it. A few times I let it slip. Actually, it's my brother, and he would get pissed off because then people would think something was
fun.
wrong with him because he was dressed like a ballerina. But he was so adorable. I wish I had a picture of him in that costume.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely adorable. I dressed a pregnant lady.
Clarence.
That's great, Clarence.
I know. The pregnant nun was something that somebody always wanted to do. That's a fun one too.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
Bride of Frankenstein, a dead bride.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Definitely.
Magical
Definitely.
Mermaid was a sugar plum fairy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, you
I've
dressed.
always had good ideas for a
Batman.
costume, but I never could afford it or just didn't have the wherewithal to pull it together out of nothing. I mean, like the night with my brother, it was my mom just like, okay, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
And she just went digging in the closet and found my old tutu and stuff and thought, perfect.
Sometimes those are the best costumes. The last minute. Oh, what do I do?
The only other costume that was ever the greatest was for my son, and my mother made it. And it was when the Power Rangers were real big. He was in middle school, and the Green Ranger had just been introduced, so all the kids were gaga over the Green Ranger. Well, she made him a complete Green Ranger costume, hood and all out of felt and gold lame.
Oh.
We couldn't get 2 houses down the street without some parent. Where did you find that? I've looked everywhere for a costume. Like my mother made it. You'll have to go to Joann's next year. Go buy it yourself, make it yourself. But yeah, that's the only other costume I can think of off the top of my head that was just such a big hit. And neither one were ever mine. So
wow.
There you go.
Well, that's awesome, and thanks for telling me in the chat what you did. That's really, we love that. So how about you,
great.
Marina? Marina, what was your experience?
Well, there was several Halloweens that when I worked at Grandin Toy, or as you would know it, Office Max, I worked with some very, very creative people. So for the time that I was there, the Halloween was always the time that everyone looked forward to Halloween because of the dressing and everything else.
Sure.
Well, the one year, and I actually won first prize. And I was dressed in, gold lame with a sheer gold kind of overcoat. I bought a wig that was huge, like really, really overdone. And I had found some necklaces that were cats that were joined together. So I got dressed up in all the gold and all the finery, put on as much jewelry as I could, and this cat necklace, and I had a big brooch that was a cat. And I won first prize because I went as a glamour puss.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. The play on words
That's
ones
great.
are the best. I think.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
And we had, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, one year we had one of the guys came in, and he was like a window, and you could see the curtains and whatnot. It was resting on his shoulders, and it was like, Mike, that's great. I can't figure out who you are. He said, I'm a peeping Tom. So it was that kind.
I love it.
Yes. That's the
loved
best
it.
kind of costumes. I agree with
Makes
you.
me think of Carol Burnett and her riff on
Yes,
Right. And Scarlett O'Hara. Yeah.
Gone with the Wind. And I saw it in the window and just had to get it.
Right.
It's so
Right.
God in the window.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Val, what about you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't remember any costumes when I was younger for myself, but when I got older as an adult, I did have some costumes that, caused a stir, and I have no idea why. One time, John and I, we were going to some kind of costume Halloween party, and we rented our costumes, and I rented the goddess Diana. So it was this Grecian goddess outfit that had all these beautiful folds, and it was really elegant and gorgeous. It just it was completely sleeveless. It wasn't low cut or anything, but all the men were trying to date me.
Oh my God.
I don't know what it was, but that stood out in my mind. Not very Halloweenish, but yeah. And then there was the time that John and I went to the Black Hawk Country Club Halloween, and he went as Zorro, and I went as what's the elf in Lord of the Rings, the one who wants to marry
Legolas?
Gandalf or no?
No, Legolas.
No, the girl.
Oh, the girl. Oh, I forget her name.
Erwin. So I went as Erwin, and Erwin kind of has this kind of goddessy thing. You put on the crown, and there again, John and I in his Zorro costume, and me and we caused quite a stir, and I don't know what it was. And people were all
beauty shining through.
It must be.
I tell you what,
it must be something.
We would have a party if we all got together with our crazy costumes, wouldn't you?
I'm telling you,
it sounds
have to up my game.
It was really weird. But actually, my favorite costumes I've seen on other people are these are weird. I do absolutely love a good Frankenstein costume. I adore, if they do it like the Herman Munster, the boots that are high and the thing on the
thing,
and the Elvira, who is also like Morticia Adams. I always like that. I always enjoy that. And Yoda, a little kid dressed up as Yoda. That is cute.
That reminds me a costume I saw back when Obama was president, and they would do the trick-or-treat giveaway, and all the kids would get to file by, and they'd get candy from the president, the first lady. And it was this little kid who was dressed up like Pope John Paul in a little Pope mobile that went around his waist with the top down. And Obama made like the biggest deal. Look, the Pope is here. Really played it up. And the kid was maybe 5, but oh my God, it was the cutest costume I can remember seeing.
That is
and of course the Obamas made this big deal about it, which made the little kid feel like $1 million, as well as his parents too, I'm sure, because it was all made out of construction paper and paper mache, so
So it's
But it was
funny.
creative thinking still.
It's funny
Yes.
how I don't think of Halloween as a scary costume kind of thing.
Right,
I
right.
use it for
Yeah.
anything I love.
Anything, yeah,
And
yeah,
my
yeah.
most recent costume is in the last few months has been a Knights Templar.
Oh, cool.
If I was going to go to a Halloween party, that's what I wear.
Okay.
But I mean,
Okay.
I just think it's funny how I don't even translate it into a scary thing.
Right,
Except
right. It's
for-
fun.
I
Yeah,
usually
it's
go
fun.
as a vampire just because it's easier to.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah,
easy costume to throw together.
true.
Yeah. Yes.
And
Yeah.
but
Well, so I have two experiences. Both of them I did. The first one was in college, and my last name, my maiden name was Crooker. So I was Aley Hooker, and
Aley
I had on, high heels and all that junk, and I carried a cucumber. And anybody asked me why I had a cucumber, I said cucumbers are better than men.
Oh, you are spicy.
Oh, I was. It was so much fun. It really was. But
That's
that
great.
was in the 70s. Yeah, that was in the 70s.
That is
My
very
the
spicy.
recent one that I was, though, I used to be a mortgage loan officer, and we would go to the real estate offices and ask for clients and ask for business, So one year my boss said, if I'm going to have a Halloween party and whoever dresses up right is going to win a bottle of Dom Perignon. I know.
Ooh.
So I dressed up as Fannie Mae. And Fannie Mae is one of the mortgage loans you can get. Yes, FNMA. But I was Fannie Mae, and I put pillows in my ass, and I had a hat on that said, it had cards, and it said anything for a deal. And yeah, it was so much. I won the bottle of Dom Perignon.
I bet
did.
you
there
did.
you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the right
know.
subject matter.
It was so
the
much
right-
fun. Yeah, it was fun. And so, yes, that's why I knew when you started saying it, I thought we would have a great party, because I remember once when I was at college, some of the sorority sisters dressed up as a 6-pack of beer, and they looked like, and they walked together, and they were great. They were great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes, there you go, book.
Yeah.
Overwear. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did a party once my senior year in high school, and one of the guys came as a dirty old man. He was absolutely naked from head to toe, and he had this big trench coat on, and he tied a big red ribbon around his penis, and he would walk around the party all night long and go, "Surprise!" And he opened his coat and he closed it back, and everybody was just in stitches. We were all laughing so hard. And that was his costume. And we were all like 17, 18,
Oh,
between
yeah,
16
sure.
and
That must
19
have
years
been an
old. You know?
awful small
Oh, cool.
ribbon to fit on
Uh-huh.
there and stay.
Uh-huh.
No, he was a big guy, so it was it took a hefty amount of ribbon. He was big all over, he was just a big guy. But oh my God, it was because when he showed up and all he had on was his trench coat, and everybody was like, "Well, what are you?" And he said, "So I'm a dirty old man." See, and he opens his coat. Everybody was like on the floor laughing so hard. We could not believe he was actually naked underneath.
He was really naked. My
There you
God.
go. There you go. He had a ribbon on. He had a ribbon on.
That's
ribbon
true.
on
He
his
was wearing a very well placed red bow.
That's really great. That is great. Oh my God.
I
Well,
love
thank you.
those. I used to love when in the day when I would get kids would come to the door, and I used to love watching their costumes, especially the little ones.
Oh yeah.
Because
Oh,
they
yeah.
were just
They were so
Yeah.
adorable.
yeah. I saw a little video that someone had put up. I don't know how old it was, but it was of a little kid coming to the door at Halloween, all dressed up. And the woman opens the door, and this one is like maybe a year and a half, 2 years old, and it holds a bag out. "Give me candy." And the mom is saying, "No, you have to say trick or treat, trick or treat. Give me candy."
That's cute. That's cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't even
So-
allow trick or treating where I live in this apartment complex.
Oh yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't need that. They tell everybody,
Yeah.
don't turn your light on. Don't,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
they have a
scary
big
now.
party.
It's different.
They have
It's
a big
different than it used
party
to
in the
be.
clubhouse for 'em
Yeah.
on Halloween night.
Oh,
They can
okay.
all come in their costumes, and they
Yes.
have
Mhm.
contests, and they have a big party and give out lots of stuff. And so
Uh-huh.
it's safe for everybody, and
Yeah.
it's a shame that, our kids today kind of lost that. I mean,
Yes.
we would leave with like pillowcases.
Oh,
Yes, we
yes.
do.
And
Yeah.
we would hit the neighborhood, come back, dump out the pillowcase, and go back out again. And then
Yeah.
somebody's parent would load us in the car. We'd go 3 or 4 blocks over to a new neighborhood. We'd all go hit that neighborhood, Just
Yeah, of course.
it
Yeah.
was crazy.
So Froxy, in college, we had the guys do the streaking, but one day we're in the middle of dinner and one of the gals from the sorority ran through butt naked. This was in 74. And she was
Oh my God.
she was well endowed. I'm saying that very nicely. And everybody knew who she was because she was the only African-American woman at the college in the sorority. So it's like you can't not know who it is. Yeah.
You can't hide. You might as well let it all hang out, right?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Many
Yes.
years ago. Many years ago. Yeah.
Yes.
And-
Yeah.
well, thanks
those
for the fun question. I just thought that would be fun because it's Halloween. What I wanted to talk about this week was this is our wins or our victories, things that have happened to us, and how we share those things, and how comfortable we are with those things, and how comfortable we are with other people sharing their wins or their victories, and how we respond to that. So let me just say, I have a really hard time asking for things. I really do. And so that's why I don't tell people all the time, like and subscribe. I feel, it's one of my things I need to work on. So I already know that. But I just love it when you can share something with people and they respond so well, oh my God, that's wonderful. I'm glad.
Yes.
And when people tell me they're going on a trip or they wanted something or whatever, I'm just as happy as I would be if it happened to me. That's the way I am. So I'm wondering about your experiences, ladies. Anything that you'd like to share why don't we start with Val? Just because.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
let's see. Wins. I never think of things as wins or victories. And maybe that's a downside to me, that
Okay.
I'm more like you, Aley, in that I don't really I'm not that great of a receiver in that way, because I'm not going to ask. I just don't. But like my win for me would be like just starting a YouTube channel and having anybody watch it at all.
Well, yeah.
That's a win.
I know, sure it is. Sure it
me.
is. Yeah.
And what's a victory? A victory to me is like when Marina and I do messages for Lightworkers, for example, and anyone in the audience actually gets something from what we're being channeled, what we're channeling through. That's a victory. But also Sisters in the Mystical Tarot, any show that anybody's getting anything from, I feel really good about. And as far as anyone in this community, the readers or our friends out there watching, anytime anyone in this community is having something wonderful happen, more subscribers, more people joining the channel, more joining their memberships, all of that just feels like it's happening. It's happening to all of us. It's happening for all of us. And it's just a self-fulfilling, wonderful thing. And you can expand that out all around the world for whatever it is.
You can.
It doesn't take away from you. It adds to you. And that's how I feel about it. That's how it all feels.
Great. Yeah. I love that because I think that we have with each other, we have found between subscribers, members, and people
Yes.
who have channels
Yeah.
that we are here to support and enjoy their victories and their wins just as much
Yeah.
as our own. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love that. I love it so much. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's the best part when when you see someone succeed and you've watched them as they've been on their journey, and you've watched them deal with things, go through things, whatever. It's like the cheering committee, right? You're right behind them going, yes, you can do it, just
Really.
yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes I cheer louder for others than I do for myself, because I think with me, it's like, yeah, okay, I did that. I kind of
You don't
figured.
put yourself on a pedestal, but I mean, what you do can change lives.
I'm uncomfortable tooting my own horn. Is
Right.
basically it. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
I get it.
I used to be, but then years of sales kind of taught me that if you don't sometimes spell things out for people, they don't get it.
Yeah.
Right.
So, being able to call someone and say, I have this or I have that, and I'd love to have your business. I'm looking to make a sale here. How do we get to the next step? Like saying the things out loud that normally you're told, no, you should, push the pen towards them and wait until you ask for the sale. So that,
that's more appreciated because it's up front and it's just saying it, and the person doesn't feel manipulated.
That's
You're
true.
just stating
That's
the
very
truth.
true.
And so that's
very true.
Yeah.
It reminds me, I don't know if Jill's here, but Jill's one of my moderators, and she always says, I want everybody to please put an emoji or something after the show because it helps the algorithm. And she's always getting after me, which is okay. She says, Aley,
I think we all have people that do that.
Yeah.
I have regulars that every show I do, there's 2 or 3 people.
Two or three people that do it every
chat.
Yep. I have that
always
too.
reminding people to hit the thumbs up. They're always reminding people to go leave a comment after the show's over. They're always reminding people, make sure you're subscribed. Oh, look, Shari's got membership now. Make sure you go join it. And it's like, I feel like I should pay them because they're out there promoting for me. And, on their own, I never asked them to do that. But because I have a hard time doing it for myself. I mean, like I said, I have a hard time tooting my own horn. And I've had people ask me if I got upset because there have been people I have invited on as a guest who were like just starting out. Just a few, just a few subscribers or whatnot. And then the next thing you know, zoom, they're through the stratosphere and they've passed you up and left you behind by thousands of subscribers.
Absolutely.
And I've actually had people ask me, well, that doesn't upset you when that happened? And I'm like, why would it upset me?
Yeah.
Evidently they struck a nerve, and that was the whole point of me inviting them on. Was to get them, get them going, When it's my turn will come, and I'm not worried about it until then, But I get excited when I see that happen to other people. It's like, that's awesome because I know how hard it is for all of us to run our channels, to do all the work that goes into setting schedules when you invite people on, especially new people, and trying to set boundaries with people in the chat or people that ask questions, to try to keep a kind of a lid on it so it doesn't get completely out of hand. Just all the hours you put into creating promos and thumbnails and trying to think of things that are fun and cute that people will enjoy. If I had known how much work it was going to take to do this, I never would have done it. I would have said, no, I don't have time for that. And I would never have done it. But when you do what you love, it's not really work. but it's
Exactly.
still a lot of work.
Mhm.
And so it makes it nice when you put a lot of effort in, when you start getting feedback from people saying,
Sure.
I really
Sure.
enjoyed the show, or, oh, thank you for that topic. I really needed to
Yeah,
hear
it
that.
meant
Or,
a lot.
Yeah.
thank
Sure.
you for the reading. I really needed to hear that at that time. That makes me feel good, because it's like, okay, I did something
It
right.
makes you feel
know?
good, but you know what?
Yeah.
It makes you feel good that the other person is getting some value out of it.
Yes,
It's
that's right.
that-
It's not
Exactly.
about feeling. Yeah.
That's where the
Yeah.
satisfaction
That's
is.
correct. Yeah.
Just
For
like
I
when
love
you
that.
give a
I
personal
love that.
reading and they come back, a week, a
Uh-huh.
month,
Yeah.
3 months later, and they're like, oh my God, everything you told me
Yes.
happened exactly like you said it was going to happen. And because when you're doing the reading, you're like, where the hell is this coming from?
Sure.
You just
If
say it
helped them
anyway.
progress and it helped
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
step, and it helped them
That's
get
right.
through a
Through a
tough
hard time.
spot,
That's
a
true.
hard
Yes.
time. Yeah.
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 That
Yeah. Because
feels
it's like, I want to
really
have
good.
fun, and I
Yeah.
want everybody else to have
Yeah.
fun and enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Whether if I'm on as a guest or if I'm hosting, it doesn't matter. My
Yeah.
whole goal is, let's have some fun, even with more serious topics. But
Yes.
it's really, really encouraging when you get that feedback that comes back and says,
Sure.
thank you for the laughs the other night. Boy, I really needed
Yes.
that and didn't know
Yeah.
it,
I
or,
love the ones we can laugh. Those are
Yes.
the best
Yeah.
ones.
oh
Those are
yeah,
the best
those are the
ones. Yeah.
best,
We need it too. We need it too.
And
Yeah.
we do,
Well,
we need it too.
one of the experiences I had that actually wasn't good for me was that because I don't tend to toot my own horn, every time that I tried to apply for a full-time position, I would never even get an interview. And
wow.
I'm talking about 25 years of
Yeah.
trying to get a full-time job.
Oh
And
wow.
so I just was determined that I was just going to be that part-time person, and that was okay. And that's what they had in the cards, or, that's what was going on. But it was most interesting to me that I was at one point working with a dean, and there was a second level of what I do. And in order to do that, you had to come up with all these things, these criteria, and you had to work with her, and she had to talk to you about it and all that shit. So she kept saying to me, you're not, I don't see what I'm really wanting to see in this. I don't understand this. This is it's missing something. And I'm like, what is it missing? And finally I said to her, well, I'm actually a Buddhist, and I'm not comfortable talking about myself and my ego. Oh, for God's sake, would you just put that in there? That's wonderful. I said, it is. And she
Yeah.
said, yes. She said, you realize that because you are that way and you think that way, that the students love that. It's a different experience or whatever. And
A different
And
point of
so,
view.
yeah. So I guess what I was doing was I was just eliminating putting in things I thought that they wouldn't want to see.
Yeah.
And I was doing myself a big disservice. So I learned a good lesson from it, and it became a win. The lesson became a win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, and
Yeah.
Foxy Roxy Aley wants to know what pictures on your earrings.
Oh, it's 3 pumpkins sitting on top of each other. Yeah.
Oh,
3
Cool.
pumpkins. And these were like $1.70 on those
Done.
Chinese places,
Mhm.
like
Or the other one. Yes.
One of them.
one of them. Yeah,
There's several of them out there.
that's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
That's true.
I did
Absolutely.
that today. I listened to there's a guy from Midas who has like his own show and stuff now. And he was ripping about something that happened, and mainly it was coming back to, why he walked away from the church, and that he really just didn't have the patience to listen to people trying to preach to him about, oh, well, you got to this, that, and the other. I mean, we all go through this.
Yes.
And it just kind of hit me at an awkward moment today. And I thought, huh, I just like reeled out an email or a message, and put it in the comments. I have gotten nothing but nonstop responses all afternoon long from people saying, "That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was feeling." And I was like, "Well, I
Oops.
guess I was meant to say what I said, because
Yeah.
I started to go back and take it out a couple of times, and then
Yes.
it kept coming." So
Yeah.
It kept coming.
You know, people recognize genuine,
yeah,
and you know that they respond to genuine. They don't respond to the fake. And again, going back to sales, I think most people can spot a salesman a mile away.
Yeah.
It's that, "Hey, ma'am, how are you today?"
Yeah.
"Oh,
I know.
this is wonderful." It's like, I don't want it. Whatever
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
Whatever it is, I don't want any. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
if you approach someone and genuinely, "Hey,
they're
how are
interested.
you? I just wanted to stop you for a minute and find out, I have this product. Is this something that you might be interested in hearing a little more about? No? Excellent. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day."
Right.
And very often I've seen people turn around and go, "Well, wait a minute. Do you have a card?" "Yes, of course I do."
Yeah,
Right?
Right.
Because you're not putting any pressure on them. So
Mhm.
yeah, be yourself, because you
Yeah.
are there is no one else out there like you.
That's right.
So be
That's
the
right.
best you that
That's
you can be.
beautiful. I love that.
I had a job
You know, and
years
you're
ago before my
becoming
son was.
vulnerable to them when you
Yes.
do that. So they don't see you
Yeah,
as a threat.
Yeah.
You're actually
Yeah.
making them go, "Oh, well, what do you have, dear?" What have you
yeah. Let me hear about it. I actually had a
Yes.
job years ago, back before Lewis was even a twinkle. Um, and it was sitting in an office with like 20 other people doing cold calling for a siding company to put siding on people's
Yes.
houses.
Uh,
And we were cold calling people, would you like a salesman to come
Yes.
out and show you what we have, and blah, blah, blah. And I got hold of this gentleman who was retired,
Mhm.
and I started talking to him on the phone, and he's started in with, "Well, I would be interested, but I don't want any of these salespeople that come over here and want to shove it down my throat, and they don't want to listen to what I'm saying." And I just instantly went into let's fix it mode, which is normal for me. I'm like, "Oh, no, sir, our people don't do that. Our people are very laid back. If you say no, you're not interested, they'll leave you a card and they'll go on their way. But if you show some interest, they will show you what we have, but they're not going to push it in your face. They're not going to be forceful about it." Well, the boss could hear me like negotiating with this man. And so
Yes.
they clicked into the call to hear what was going on, and they could hear the tone of this gentleman and me trying to placate him. And I talked him into letting the salesman come to his house, and
Yeah.
come show him the siding. And so after the call was over, the boss like made this big deal and made everybody stop what you're doing and listen. And then he said, "Now," he says, "I want you to sit down when you write out the sales ticket. I want you to very specifically tell the salesperson what this man said, what you said in response, so that when he shows up at his house, he's not being this pushy salesman."
Yes.
So I did that. A couple of days later, the guys went to the house. He followed my instructions to the letter. The dude redid his whole house, his garage, and the shed in the back.
Yep.
Excellent.
Spent thousands
Yeah,
of dollars
That's
because
excellent. Sure.
it wasn't pushy, and
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
and it just really brought home to me, how you
Yes.
have to, be truthful in what you're saying. Because
Sure.
I didn't know if that's what our salespeople were like. I'd never met any of our salespeople. I just went into fix it mode because this man was upset. I was like, no, let's get you calm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks
Because a
for
salesman, I'm
sharing
not.
what
Yeah.
you've shared today, and the people in the chat as well. It's been wonderful to read it. We've
There's been
got two
some
questions
great
we
stuff
need
in
to
here.
do. Yeah, we got to do
Oh,
two.
yeah.
The first one is Ellen. Eleanor, she said, "I'd like to retire in 1.5 to 2 years, but I can't decide on the best place for me to live. Do you pick up any advice? If you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to do it, but that's fine. We do. So we'll do it." Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
You know, the first thing that I'm getting, Ellen, is sit down and write a list of places with the attitude that I have more money and resources than I will ever, ever need. So, with that in mind, I would love to live ... Fill in the blanks. Put in as many as you can think of, and then see where the what's common amongst those places. Are you choosing warmer destinations? Are you choosing destinations that are by the sea? Are you going inland? Are you going towards the mountains? And then once you have an idea of what it is that is kind of pulling you, then you'll have a better idea of where it is. The thing is, don't get too wrapped up about this is what about needing to pick something up for it right away. Okay, I get the Three of Swords. Don't get yourself into such a state that you make a mountain out of a molehill. This is what you're going to do, and think about it in terms of, this is a fantastic thing that I'm doing, and be positive about it. Give in to dream. You're writing things down on paper. You're not writing it in cement, and someone isn't going to stand over you and say, well, you said, so now you have to. So give into your imagination, and I think that you'll find the answer in that.
That's beautiful. I love that. Yeah. How about you, Val? What do you got?
It's funny. I get courage. So I'd say take all Marina's steps. And this is really about victory through that, going through that process. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. Shari?
Well, I drew Homeland Foundation. And I think that builds off of what Marina and Val were just saying. Dig down into your foundation. Where do you see yourself being the most comfortable? Because you don't want to move somewhere where you have to be, a certain way all the time.
Yeah.
You want somewhere that's going to make you feel at home and where you have a strong foundation and you feel comfortable.
Oh my God. Shari, I got the same thing. I did.
Oh,
these are the Halloween oracles, but I have acceptance and equality. Yes. And
I'm using the witch's wisdom.
Where you'll be accepted, where you'll feel like you're part of the group. And wow. I mean, and I think it goes right along with Marina too. And you can always, say like you thought you'd like to go to New Mexico. Let's just say that. And you look up, what is the population of the area? What things are around the area that you might like? What's the weather like? But what are the people like? I think that's really important as well.
It really is.
And the real people, not the ones that are pictured in the brochure.
Yeah.
Not the ones that are on the website, no, you want the real people.
Yeah. So go into a local grocery store, take a trip there, and go to the park and see how people are.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely. So no lifetime appointments. It's permission to try not to improve, grow at worst. It is the perfect setup. I don't know if this is an answer to this question, a book. Actually, I thought it was part of this, but thank you, dear. Thank you.
Yes.
Denise, I love this. Are there gun ranges or art museums? I mean, I was living in a RV park for a while, and we didn't know there was a gun range behind us.
Oh,
so
wow.
yeah.
Oh, look, somebody just got a new member.
Yeah, somebody did.
I think I just did. Welcome, Janet.
Yes, that's awesome.
Welcome, Janet.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Make sure you send me an email so that I have your contact info and we'll be able to email you back.
There you go. So I just want to say that these questions were taken from our community boards. So we're not taking questions
Mhm.
in the chat, just so everybody knows if I'm not ignoring you. So
Yes.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's
And that's
wonderful.
right, Amanda Carroll. Visit at night too, because do you feel
True.
safe after the sun goes down? Does it make you
Yep.
comfortable? All
Yep.
those
What are the
things.
neighborhoods like? Are there
Yeah.
kids out playing and riding bikes and stuff?
Yep.
Or
Yep.
is everything buttoned down and locked up at the minute
Ah,
the street lamps come on? That
Mhm.
kind of thing.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Dawn is asking, I believe, about is it Alberta's? Is it Alberta or is it the entire Canada?
No. Tim Sheehy is running
I've
for
heard
something
that name.
in the States.
Uh-huh.
I've
Or
heard the name.
no. Or is he a football player?
I think
Oh,
it
he?
feels like he is.
Okay,
Yeah.
somebody
Some
tell me
kind of
who
a
it
ball
is,
player.
if you wouldn't
Yes,
mind. That would
please.
be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then,
Anyway, all right. So,
Yeah.
but Dawn wants to know. I feel they don't have respect for him, but reluctant to come forward. Will the U.S. and Canada get out of lifetime appointments and lifetime pay for politicians, judges, and that must have been what book was writing about. Okay.
Okay, then. All right. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That made sense now. So
Yeah,
this
he's
is
running for
Dawn's question.
senator.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
running for senator in Montana.
Mm.
Oh, he's the
Okay.
one in 45's camp. Okay. Against John Tester. Is that what you're
Yes.
I
saying?
think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good looking guy. Shame he's got his head on backwards.
Yeah.
A lot of them like that, Shari. A lot of them like
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I want to take these, I guess, one at a. How do Sheehy's teammates feel about him? That's the first question. All right.
Glad I pulled up my Halloween decks.
Wow. I get the skull of stars, infinite possibilities, but of course this looks really ominous. I don't know. You notice this skull doesn't have the lower part of his
Yes.
bone
Yeah.
there. So I'm thinking that the guy might talk out of both sides of his mouth because he doesn't have a
Yes.
a mandible, isn't it? Yeah. Go
Yes.
ahead, Marie.
I
Yeah.
agree. I get
Yeah.
the 6 of coins, which
Oh.
usually this is the the sharing of prosperity, the
Mhm.
each according to his need. So in
Mhm.
other words, whatever side he's talking to, he'll tell them what they want to hear. He's not being honest.
Right.
So yeah,
Okay.
no, people can
Okay.
read him.
Yeah.
And I got believe. He wants you to believe him, but
Okay. I want you to believe he'd be okay. Okay. Yeah. True. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I
Shari?
got Violet Angel. And basically this is talking about finding fresh hope, new hope to new things. And I think he's trying to sell himself as someone
Mhm.
who's
Yeah.
bringing
Yes, of course he is.
a fresh hope, a new hope to what's going on.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's talking about be aware of what's underneath.
Okay.
So
Makes sense. Sally's got here. He was a former Navy SEAL. God, he was
Yes.
born in 1985.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That seems like yesterday.
Yes, I know. I remember 1985 like it was yesterday.
I was 30. Yeah, I know.
And he was the one who talks about his war wounds, and a lot of the people that were on his team, the SEAL team, have said, "Yeah, dude, no, you didn't get wounded in war. You know, you shot yourself accidentally." So,
Oh dear.
There you go.
You remember the song by Elton John, Levon wears his war wounds like a crown? I
yes,
remember that.
perfect
yes,
song.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Not an athlete. All right. So here's the second part of the question. Will the US and Canada get rid of lifetime appointments and lifetime pay for all of this? Oh God, from your lips to God's ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It feels like it. It feels like, yes. What do I get? Strength. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think people are realizing that the, this during a time when your word was your bond and people could be relied upon to act humanely and honorably with each other, a lifetime appointment or lifetime pay was a reward basically for being a moral, upstanding human being. That is no longer the case. So until things change, I think that yes, it's time to put in time limits. And you get the same mathematical equation in terms of your pay and your pension, just like everybody else, because it's a job. You're doing a job.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get yes. The Empress is yes, absolutely. This is going to change in accordance with the energies that are speaking.
So, wow. You know what's really cool is that when you pulled that up, I'm feeling like the ghost of Ruth Bader Ginsburg here. I get regret. I get regret that all this BS has been going on. And I just feel so when you pulled the Empress up, I'm thinking, oh, there's Ruth again,
Exactly.
I wore her shirt yesterday.
Yeah.
She's with us.
She is with us.
Well, I pull the 9 of Wands, which is basically, shoring up your backside, making sure you're protected. So this is, I think, where those that want to keep it are coming from. And so I drew another one just to kind of clarify what Spirit was saying here. And I got the Moon. They've got things that have been in secret and they want to keep it that way.
Oh, yeah.
And so in order for us to really get a fresh start on all of this, we gotta get some sunlight going there. Get out of the moonlight and get into some sunlight.
There you go. There you
go.
We are not going back.
No,
we
we're
are
not.
not going back. We are
That's
not
right.
going back. We are not going back.
And I will just very quickly say that we did have a question that was just a little it was lengthy and it was very personal. So without mentioning who, I think if you're in the chat, you'll recognize yourself as having submitted the question. I would encourage you to reach out to Aley, to Shari, to Val, to myself, book a private reading and address those concerns in a private reading. And that is out of respect for your privacy and respect for your situation. That's it.
There you go. Thank you so much. Well, we've had quite the day. We had at one point 111 people here. We're down to 100. That's okay too.
Wow.
We love every single one of you. We appreciate you. All of us here are here most of the time, unless I'm going to a concert or Val was on vacation or whatever it was. But we come here every week and we come at the same time every week and we have topics. And most of you already know that. But all four of us also offer memberships, and we'd love to have you subscribe, even if you don't want to be a member. That's fine. We would love your subscription, and we thank you for all that you do to keep us on our toes and to keep us continuing to do the work we love to do. So,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And next show is Val will be doing, right? Val is going to be doing the next show, and it's going to be the day after the election.
Oh my goodness.
The day after the election show.
Right? The election show.
You
missed it though. You guys missed it. There was a garbage truck with Trump's name on it, and he got into it today.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I saw
perfect job for him.
They
Yeah.
always come home to roost, don't they?
They do. They do. Yes. I know. You just never know day to day the craziness, but that's what keeps us. Yeah. Yeah.
The
Yes,
things
absolutely.
politicians will do to make us think they're normal.
Yes.
Yeah. I love this. We do need to find a way to keep activism as part of our lives. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, book. That's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
And we have to remember that. Yeah. Go ahead, Shari.
We're in the position we're in right now because we had a couple of generations that just kind of went to sleep on everything.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, they're running it. They got it. I don't have to think about it. Yeah.
Oh, so Joe, you said in Green Bay he couldn't find the door handle repeatedly. Almost fell when he opened it, and then he climbed the steps. I think he should have gotten in the back, if you know what I mean. They could have.
They could have like
him
run him
out
through the
and thrown him
thingy.
in the back. Oh, we just might do that. We just might do that.
Well,
Wouldn't
I'll
that
tell
be
you,
fun?
I am Tuesday election night. I
Yep.
have a regularly scheduled show with David and Gary. It's a regularly scheduled Taco Tuesdays. So I talked to the boys and I said, look, did we want to go on earlier or later, whatever? And we decided, no, we'll just keep it at 7, the regular show. So by 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we should start to see some of the results, and we should have a better. So I think that's what we'll be talking about. Yeah.
Mel and Arthur's regular show, Aloha Tuesday, and they invited me to come hang with them to do the live. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. So, and I think we're on about an hour before you, Marina, or something like that. So, we'll probably be getting some results in by then, but
yes,
we'll see what happens.
But it's going to take a while, and we can't get nervous about it. We just have to know it's all going to be fine. It's all going to be fine. That's right. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everything. Thanks, ladies. I love working with you, as you know, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.